All right, welcome in, ladies and gents, boys and girls, to another exciting edition of the Bison Billiards Monday night stream. Tonight's edition features two of our top 12 players. Currently, there are 20 on the list, but these two players sit at number 10 and number 11. So Venkat Kakku has challenged Brad Wesley for the number 10 spot. They are going to be playing 9-ball, traditional Texas Express rules, race to 7. I am commentating solo this evening. My name is Vinny Sox, for those of you that don't know me. And I will do my best to take you through this match. I think it should be a pretty exciting, tight contest. I know both of these players' games very well, so should be a little bit easier to commentate than maybe other matches that I've done. I know these two players' tendencies. I know their shot selections and their strengths and weaknesses. So on the screen, you can take a look at our Buffalo top players list from 1 to 20. Yours truly sits in the 6th place. I'll be challenging up probably within the next couple weeks. But this match, most importantly, is for the number 10 spot. So Venkat Kakku has challenged Brad Wesley, and the winner of tonight's match will either remain or take the number 10 spot. I have started a live poll. The question, who will win this match? 4 different options: Venkat in a landslide, Brad in a landslide, Venkat by just a little bit, Brad by just a little bit. So probably Hill, or I'm considering that either a 1-game victory or a 2-game victory. So please weigh in. Let myself and all of the other viewers know what you're thinking. If you're a Bison Billiards regular, I'm sure you're familiar with both these players. They're staples here at the pool hall. I know both of them competed in our big 8-ball tournament just this past weekend. Over $30,000 in cash at stake. I think we're just waiting for Brad. May have ran to use the restroom. Venkat is just getting a little bit of extra warm-up in. And then we'll be lagging for first break. Okay, I can see Brad making his way to the table, so we should be getting started momentarily. All right, we already have a score prediction in the live chat. Matt Mandola, another one of our commentators, and also one of Buffalo's top players, says Brad 7-4. He said it's a 50-50 match, but he thinks Brad takes it tonight. Okay, here we go. The lag. Looks like Venkat's speed is maybe a little bit better. And I believe Venkat does get the break. Now let's see if they're going to be using the traditional triangle rack or they choose to use the magic rack, the template. All right, looks like Venkat is reaching for the template, which hangs on the overhead light. So all right, the balls have been racked. Venkat is going to get the opening break. We are coming to you live from Bison Billiards, the premier pool hall in Western New York, located in Clarence, which is right outside of Buffalo. Plenty of tables, 9-footers, 7-footers. We have a snooker table, a 3-cushion table. So whatever you're looking to shoot, we do have it here at Bison Billiards. Tonight we are playing on a 9-foot diamond table. And Venkat with a nice opening shot on the 1 ball and does have a look at the 2. Looks like that 6 might go. And it does. Don't believe that's what he was intending for, but if you're unfamiliar with 9 ball, as long as you hit the lowest ball on the table first, so in that case, you hit the 2 ball. If any other ball goes in, you continue your turn. Whoever makes the 9 ball wins the game. So you can combo the 1 into the 9, the 2 into the 9, the 3 into the 9. You don't have to call it. As long as you hit the lowest ball on the table first and the 9 ball goes in, you would win the rack. Brad with a tremendous defensive play there. Clipping the left side of that 2 ball, putting it behind the 3 ball. Not sure if Venkat maybe has an edge of this 2 ball. If he does, he's just going to run the cue ball. That is a bad hit, so Brad will get ball in hand. So if you do not hit the lowest ball on the table first, your opponent gets to put the cue ball anywhere he wishes. And I don't see any problems on the table here. I'm thinking Brad should probably clear these balls in timely fashion and take a 1-0 lead in our race to 7. Okay, a little bit of body movement there, but I know Brad doesn't play as much 9 ball as he used to. He's playing a lot more 8 ball in one pocket these days, but looks like he's playing safe. No, he goes for it. A little bit of a 2-way. He's playing safe. No, he goes for it. A little bit of a 2-way there. I don't think he would have missed the bank by that much. But he figures if he hits it bad enough, it might go in. But I think you're really just playing safe there, leaving some distance, leaving the 9 ball in this bottom rail. Brad's going to look to edge it. Okay, look to split it. Just caught that 9 ball a little bit too thin. It's going to leave Venkat a shot here. Now this pocket, we know from past streams, if you've been following us, likes to spit balls out. It's not the friendliest of pockets, but Venkat knows that. He hits the pocket clean. And Venkat Kakku, our number 11 player, takes a 1-0 lead in this race to 7. All right, we got some comments coming in here in the live chat. We appreciate the engagement. Matt Mandola giving a shout out to your commentator for a good showing Saturday. Yeah, we had the big $4,000 added bar box 8-ball tournament this past weekend. It brought in players from not only Western New York, but really all across the region, bordering states. Some international players coming over from Canada, so an extremely strong field. I finished in the 17 to 24 spot out of 108 players, so pretty happy with how I played. I feel like I maybe left some shots on the table, but I think we can all say that after a tournament. Huge congratulations to Western New York's own Jake Miosi. I believe he finished 2nd in the tournament, so really, really good showing by Jake. Like I said, an extremely strong field. I think we had maybe 8 to 10 players over 700 Fargo. So, and I know Jake's, up there close to that with his Fargo. So I know he played extremely well. So if Jake's watching, big congratulations to him. We like to see one of our local players do well anytime we have a big tournament. We have Space Ghost 3 in the live chat. Says, good evening. Gents and ladies, good evening to you. Ellie in the live chat says, hi, Vinny Sox. Love your commentary. Venkat's got this in the bag. I believe Ellie was in our chat. Was it last week or the week before when Venkat was playing? I know she's a supporter of Venkat, so for her sake, I hope the match works out in her favor. Tuning in to the voice of Buffalo. Wow. That's a strong compliment. I wouldn't consider myself the voice of Buffalo just yet, but I'm getting there. I'll be with you most Monday nights. I know next Monday night I will not be here. We'll have some fill-in commentators, but try to be with you most Monday nights. I'm kind of sharpening my skills. I've never commentated before, so I just try my best, and I love to talk about pool, so I just kind of pretend like I'm either talking to myself or just talking to someone else here at the pool hall, and I'm not wearing a headset. All right. So we're in rack 2 currently. Venkat with a miss on that 4-ball. Brad looking to even things up here. Now this is a tough cut in the side pocket. Let's see if he goes for it. With that 7-ball being in front of that left corner pocket, I think you want to play this 4-ball in the in the bottom left-hand corner and draw it back. That way you're not having to deal with that 7-ball. I think that's what he tried to do. Now he leaves the 4-ball open, but I don't think Venkat has an angle to get on the other side of the 5. So he's just going to have to roll this in and probably play that 5-7 combo, which looks a little off angle. So no bargain here. All right, wow. Really strong stroke there by Venkat. He did have the most minute of angles, and he used it to his advantage, bringing that cue ball to the left-hand side. Now he's got an open shot, doesn't have to worry about the 7-ball. He could just slow roll this. Watch out for that side pocket. I think he's okay. All right, Venkat, I believe, can just roll this in, can leave himself an angle on the 8, and then play the 8-9 in the same bottom right-hand corner pocket. Now, that's easy to do when you're slow rolling a cut shot like that. Your tendency is to undercut it. So I think when you're slow rolling a cut shot, I've said this before, I normally like to play to overcut it. I feel like you just kind of get that little bit of a kick when you slow roll it, and I feel like if you play to overcut it, you're probably going to compensate for that. So I think that's what happened with Venkat there, but leaves Brad a really good opportunity here. Brad stretching over the table, puts his extension on the back of his cue, and he also hangs the 7-ball. So a tough one there for Brad. Let's see what Venkat can do here. Probably going to play this rail first. He doesn't. Hoping for it to slow down. And I think it held up just in time. If it didn't, he can use that 9-ball. You can clip off the left side of the 8-ball, put the 8-ball behind the 9, run the cue ball back up table. I think that's what he's looking to do here, if he can't cut it in. Okay, he did try to play the shot that I called, but just played the 8-ball a little bit too hard, and I think Brad's got a nice safety play here. He might try to draw it under the 9. He does. Wow, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful defensive shot there by Brad. V pumps his fist in frustration. He knows he let this one get away. I think on that 7-ball, with the 7-ball hanging in the corner pocket, I think he could have played it rail first. Would have been bringing the cue ball to the same side as the 8-ball. But he did play it straight on. He just caught it a little bit too thin, and cue ball got away from him. So Brad's definitely in the driver's seat in this rack to tie up the match. Venkat really weighing his options here. I don't know if he has either side rail. So yeah, he's going to have to go 2 rails here. He's going to have to play this with a little bit of left-hand spin. Ooh, and he just misses it. I think that was probably the right play. So Brad can just play this 8 in the top left corner, draw the cue ball back. Doesn't have to get perfect. Really, anywhere past the side pocket, he's fine. Don't think he's going to try to do anything more complex than just a simple draw shot. You can even get into it and draw it back to the bottom rail. I think that's what he was looking to do, and he does that perfectly. That just allows you to let your stroke out a little bit. You know, you don't want to baby it. So he drew that right back to the bottom rail. It's a smart way to play it. And we have a tie match, 1-1. All right, let's take a look at the live poll. We already have 11 votes. Appreciate everybody weighing in. Brad by a little at 55%, so 1 or 2 games. Venkat by a lot, sitting in the second spot at 27%. Brad by a lot, sitting at 18%. And nobody thinks that Venkat is going to win by a little, so either hill or by 2 racks. You know, there's some people who think this could be a blowout based on those first couple racks. I would say it's going to be a pretty competitive match. Brad breaking from the left-hand side. That's where I like to break. Probably trying to make that 1 ball in the side pocket. A little bit of a cut break. It kicks off that 7 ball. It was going towards the side, and he is going to have a look at this 1. All right, we have somebody in the live chat asking, what socks am I wearing today? Let me take a look. I don't even know what I put on. I have a gray Dickies sock and a blue Nike sock. So, as is my trademark, I shouldn't even say normally, I never wear 2 of the same socks. That's why I'm known as Vinny Socks. And today is no different. My socks do not match. I'm wearing pants, so you can't really tell, but yeah. That's where I stand in the socks department today. Ellie reiterating her support for Venkat. Says, let's go Venkat. Thanks for joining us, Ellie. Brad with a good shot on that 1 ball. Tries to slow roll the 3. Now, the key ball in this rack is that 7 ball. It's in that funny spot on the table that nobody really likes. It's kind of tough to get onto it, especially with where that 6 ball is. The transition from the 6 to 7 is not going to be fun. So let's see what Venkat can come up with here. All right, he fires that 4 ball in the side pocket, but he hooks himself on the 5, so he's going to be kicking at this. Just trying to kick bottom rail, leave some distance. Whoa. Wow. Venkat kicks that in like a champ. Fortunately, the cue ball gets away and scratches in that left side pocket, so you couldn't ask for much more if you're Brad here, especially with that awkward position that the 7 ball's in. Now he's going to have ball in hand on the 6. He's going to be able to get ideal position on the 7 ball. We have Logan in the live chat saying that he agrees with my sock choice. Thank you for joining us, Logan. Space Ghost says that he thinks Brad is going to win this match. Now, Space Ghost, were you one that voted that you think Brad's going to win by a little, or do you think Brad's going to win slide? Let us know. So Jay Reed asks, is this the undercard match? So normally every Monday night we do 2 matches, one starting around 6:30, and then the second one starting really as soon as this match ends. I don't believe we're going to have a second match this evening. We were going to have a match, but I believe one of the players is ill and could not make it. So unless 2 players show up and want to play and, surprise me, I think this could be the only match of the evening. But I'm willing to stay for a second match if there are 2 players who want to jump on stream. So I guess it's TBD at this point. Ellie says put a heart in the chat for Venkat. Does have respect, he or she has respect for Venkat's game. Sox fan with another heart for Venkat. So we have a lot of Venkat fans in the chat. But based on the poll, even though we have a lot of Venkat fans, it looks like the majority believe that Brad is going to take this match. I do need to put another tally up for Venkat. So 2-1 Venkat currently. All right, little surgery, removing that template rack, and nothing on the break, but Brad does not have an open look at the 1 ball. All right, Space Ghost comes right back, and they want to see 100 in the chat for Brad. So all of you Brad supporters, let's see those hundreds in the live chat. All right, nice kick there by Brad, but with that 8 ball hanging, I think Venkat's going to go for this one. Just got to be careful with where that 1 ball goes. You really want to just kind of slow roll this into the 8, hit it pretty square. All right, yep, he didn't hit the 8 ball square, and this is where he ends up. Tough cut on the 1 ball, but it is makeable. I think he can go all the way back up table and back down. All right, tries to hold it with some inside spin, but he hangs the 1 ball. So let's see if there's enough of that rail for Brad. Maybe just clip this and just come back up for the 2. You just got to watch out for that point. You don't want the cue ball to stick in that pocket. Okay, goes rail first. Got to get around that 4 ball. Gets a nice bump. He's going to have a look at the 2 ball. And the 3 ball is sitting there by the side pocket, which does lead to the 4. So everything's there for Brad. I think this is probably the key shot. You want to get straight on this 3 ball or maybe a little bit under it. Wow, great stroke there by Brad. Maybe even stroked it a little bit too good. Overran his position slightly. Let's see what he chooses to do here. I don't know if he can run into that 5 ball or if he can just slow roll. Wow, great decision there by Brad. Plays it off the 7, gets the 7 out of that peculiar spot. A little bit of touch it inside. All right. Got a good angle. Can just come off the top rail. Probably play it 2 rails maybe. Top side. Yep. Oh, man. He shot that really, really well. He just caught that point of the side pocket, and let's see what he chooses to do here. I know Brad's a pretty good safety player. He does look to slow roller. Watch out for the double kiss. Wow, tremendous shot. That doesn't look easy. I'm sorry, that doesn't look difficult on the stream, but I can tell you from experience, that is a very touchy shot. It's very easy to leave that 6 ball open with the shot that Brad just played. And Venkat going all out, and he's going to leave it. And Brad has a great opportunity here to put up his second bead. Just a little bit of left-hand English. right, he just caught that 6-ball way too full. I think he wanted to hit that 6-ball a little bit thinner, get a little bit more action on the cue ball, get closer to that 7, but he just caught it a little bit too thick. Okay, he's going forward. Wow, he crosses it. Wants it to hit that 9-ball. Okay, so he does leave it on for Venkat. He is cutting this 7-ball into either the first or second most difficult pocket on this table. But he's going to have natural shape to come down for the 9-ball. Okay, it looks like Venkat's playing it with some bottom left. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. He's going to have to watch the scratch there. Okay, gets away with it. Now the shot I like here is just coming off the top side of the 7, just banking the 7 back down table, just perpendicular and leaving the cue ball up table. This is a tough shot, but let's see if Brad's looking to be aggressive. Down a rack. Okay, he is. Now he played to overcut that. I just think he hit it a little bit too hard. I think he was looking for a 2-way there. Okay, he leaves Venkat straight, or pretty much straight on this 7-ball. So this is going to require a really straight, powerful stroke. He's going forward. Wow, great shot there. Doesn't want to get under it. Doesn't want to get under it. Okay, I think he's okay. He's okay. He can just cut this. Sometimes it's tough to tell the angle on the monitor, but this definitely looks like a pretty makeable shot here. Maybe just a little bit of left. Okay, and Venkat Kakku takes a 3-1 lead. All right, breaking off in rack 5, Venkat Kakku breaking from the opposite side that Brad's breaking from, the right-hand side. Okay, makes that wing ball. I was mentioning the big tournament that we had this past weekend. If you haven't ever visited us here at Bison Billiards, we do a tournament every Saturday of the year. That could be anything from 8-ball to 9-ball, Scotch doubles 8-ball, short rack 8-ball, some handicap tournaments, some non-handicap tournaments, but we always get a great turnout. We get players of all skill levels, beginners, intermediates, some of our higher level players. So even if you're just starting out and you want to, see what you can do in a tournament, definitely join us. It's a good experience. And you'll have a lot of fun. So keep posted on the Bison Billiards Facebook page. That's where most of the tournaments are announced with all of the necessary information, such as the times, the entry fees, what format we're playing. I know the Bison Billiards crew does a great job updating their Facebook. And if tournaments aren't your thing, we do also have a variety of leagues here at Bison Billiards. We host 22 BCA teams, 51 APA teams, 7 teams in our ladies league, and then we also have 8 teams in a masters league. So, 70, close to 75 teams weekly, plus 15 teams once a month, and just a really great activity. A lot of fun, great people to compete against, and enjoy some drinks, enjoy some great food, enjoy some great company, and pool's an addicting game. So if you haven't ever tried your hand in pool, I would definitely recommend it. All right, Venkat at the table. Don't believe he has a look at this one ball, so he's going to try to kick this one rail. If he kicks it with a slow speed, he may have a look at the 2. He does do that. And I couldn't tell if that if that one ball moved. It does not look like it did, so Brad is going to have ball in hand. All right, still 11 votes in the live chat. And, all right, nope, another one just came in, and over 50% of you think that Brad is going to win by 1 or 2 games. He's going to have to make a comeback here. He's down 3-1. Venkat's been playing strong these first couple racks. Okay, Brad looking to go behind that 4 ball. Just catches the 2 ball a little bit too thick. And let's see if Venkat wants to go for this 2-6 combo. Not easy. Not a shot that I like. I'm not a big combo player, but I know Venkat. Okay. All right, so it looks like Brad's got a really good angle here to come off that side rail, that right side rail. He really kind of wants to get the cue ball back to where it is now. That's where you need to get to have a look in this 3 ball in the bottom right corner. He's going forward. Okay, jumped up on it. And he's going to leave Venkat a shot here. And Venkat's also got a good angle. He's kind of, see where he put his cue down. That's where he wants to get. And I think he's going to have to dig into the cue ball a little bit more than he is. Yeah, didn't care for that shot. I think if he wanted to get with, if he wanted to get position on the 3 ball where he was kind of tapping his cue before his shot, I think he wanted to dig into the cue ball a little bit more. Now Brad's going to put it down, and I think he's got room to pot this 3 ball, and if he doesn't have to do too much with the cue ball. I think he can just stop it right there. 4 ball, pretty accessible in that top left corner. That's what he's doing. He's just looking to stop it. He does even better than that. He draws it back about 6 inches. And now this is a shot you don't want to slow roll, but I think you probably are looking to play that 5 in that side pocket. So let's see what Brad does here. Okay, great shot there if he can get around. All right, he's going to have a look at it. Venkat taps his knee in appreciation for that shot. That was not an easy shot, playing that with inside English. And Brad's going to play safe here. Wants it to hit that 9. Okay, so double difficult here for Venkat. Not only is he hooked on the 5 ball, but he's hampered by the 9 ball. Kind of measuring it out to see where he needs to hit on that side rail. I think that the side pocket would come into play, so I don't think he can kick off the right side pocket. Or I'm sorry, the right side rail. So he's going to have to play it, I think, maybe a little bit short of this left side pocket with some right hand spin. And that's what he's doing. You don't need to crush this with right. Yep. Yeah, a lot of players have a tendency to play that with too much spin. And then you're going to come on the other side of the object ball you're trying to hit. So you really didn't have to hit that with too much right, just a little bit to kind of give it that spin off the rail. And Brad Wesley with another great opportunity to tighten up our match. I think this is probably a must-out for Brad. You know, down 3-1, race to 7. That's a pretty heavy lead in a short race, and I think this would do a lot for Brad's confidence if he can knock in these last 4 balls. Probably wanted to get maybe a little bit closer to the 6th ball, but he's got the right angle. He could just kind of stun it out to the middle of the table, some bottom right. Leave yourself a good angle on the 8. Okay. Straight in on this 8 ball. Not easy. No, he must have an angle. He's going forward. Oh, nope, he's just going to take his medicine. It's really all he could do. Without an angle, there's really not much move in the cue balls. So he's going to take his medicine with this long 9 ball. Brad Wesley. Wow, great shot there. Not an easy shot into that pocket. With that much distance, Brad Wesley makes it a 3-2 match. All right, I'm just checking to see what tournament we have upcoming this Saturday. Once I get the information, I'll let you know. I don't know if it's been posted to the Bison Billiards Facebook page. I know a lot of the focus has been on the big tournament we had this past weekend. Over $30,000 on the line. A lot of great players. And again, a congratulations to a local player, Western New York's only Jake Miosi, with a 2nd place finish in an extremely strong field. The multiple players over 700 Fargo. And Jake Miosi finished a 2nd. All right, Space Ghost cheering on Brad. Says, let's go, Brad. Yeah, I think that was a really important rack for Brad to get there, and maybe he can get a little bit of a pep in his step here. And okay, tries to cut the 1 ball, plays it with some inside spin. Nothing easy here for Venkat.
Okay, hold on. Bar box 9 ball 3-9 handicap.
Okay, so I did get confirmation. We do have a bar box 9 ball tournament coming up this Saturday. Handicap 3-9. Normally for something like that, I believe the doors would open around 11 or 12 with the tournament starting shortly thereafter. So keep posted on the Bison Billiards Facebook page. I know they'll probably be posting the next few weeks of tournaments. Bar box 9 ball is more my game. I'm not much of an 8 ball player. I like the rotation games, so might have to join that tournament this coming Saturday. Yeah, I agree. Space Ghost says he needed that one. Going down 4-1 would have been tough. Yeah, especially with Venkat. Once he gets a lead, he's a tough player to come back on. He plays pretty smart with his defensive plays and doesn't really let you back in the match. So that was a really important rack for Brad. And Venkat sinks the 1, draws it back, gets a great shot on the 2. All right, just eyeing up this 2 ball. I don't know if he's going to be going into the 6-9. I think he can avoid it. Okay. And Brad's going to have a look at this 2 ball and let's see what he can do here. He's going to have to work some magic to get position on that 4 ball. You know, for me, I think you could just play to a bank here. I think you just want to roll this 2 ball in, and you can bank on the 4. And that's what Brad, I believe, was looking to do. Came up a little bit short. Now I think this is a safety play. All right, another great shot there by Brad. Great speed control, putting that 4 ball behind those blockers. Venkat does have a window. If he does, he might be able to make it, but I don't think he can. And that's a foul. He did hit the 6 ball first, so Venkat calls the shot a foul. We are gentlemen and gentle ladies here at Bison Billiards, so most players will call a foul on themselves if they hit the unintended object ball. So good job there by Venkat being a sportsman. And pretty simple out here. I think he can just roll down maybe about 4 inches. All right. I think natural angle here, maybe a little bit of bottom right. I'm sorry, bottom left. Come about above the 7. Right, doesn't want too big of an angle here. He wants just about what he has. For me, I'm going to try to come above this 8 ball in terms of middle of the table. Yeah. Needs to keep going. I think he's okay. I think he's got just enough angle where he can come off that right side rail and, you know, leave this cue ball essentially in the same line it is in now to play the 9 ball in the bottom left corner. And he rattles it. And yeah, you can see the look on Brad's face. He wasn't happy with that miss. But that pocket, we know, can be really, really difficult. You got to hit it clean or it's not going to go. So Venkat, see, he's going forward with some left. Trying to come 3 rails. Watch out for that side pocket. Wow. A little bit of surprising position play there by Venkat. I think he probably could have just killed it maybe off that right side rail. I don't know how much angle he had, but sometimes it's difficult to tell. But nonetheless, Brad Wesley ties our matchup at 3. And we have a race to 4 on our hands. So the first one to 7 is going to be our victor. Did not get a chance to speak to either player before the match about the equipment that they're playing with. I know Venkat plays with a Jacoby. Brad, I know, has switched cues a few times, so I'm not sure with what he's playing with currently. But if you are in the market for a new pool cue, no other place to come than Bison Billiards. I know Mike, the owner here, has over 200 pool cues in stock for sale. A pool cue to fit anyone's budget, whether you're a beginner player, an intermediate player, or an expert player. You just want to upgrade your equipment. Prices ranging from $100 and up. We're active dealers for Predator, Jacoby, Viking, P-Shower, Q-Tech. In fact, Jacoby was actually here on Saturday and maybe Sunday for our big 8-ball tournament. I know Brandon Jacoby was here, one of the owners at Jacoby, and he actually took part in the tournament as well, which was really cool to see. And they had pool cues on display. You could talk to them about the different cues, how they're made. I know they had some cues for sale. They, I believe, also raffled off a Jacoby cue. So I'm not sure who won that, but if you're listening, congratulations. And if you want to get fancy, we also do have 75 different custom cues in stock here at Bison Billiards. So anything from Davini, McDaniels, Joss West, Prather, Richard Black, Southwest. So all the heavy hitters in the custom cue game. You can pick one of those up here at Bison Billiards. And yeah, come down and take a look at our pro shop. We've a bunch of different showcases with our cues and see what you like. You might even be able to test one out. Kind of feel it in hand, see what's comfortable for you, and take one home. And, you know, the right equipment really makes a huge difference in your game. I've made some equipment changes recently, and it's made a world of difference. So, all right, back to our match here. Brad Wesley hooked on the 6 ball, and he brings out the jump break cue. And he's going to jump the 7 ball. Scott Gilson, I'm being told, won the cue raffle. So congratulations, Scott. It was a beautiful cue, and I'm sure you'll put it to good use. All right, Brad Wesley looking to jump the 7 ball, and Mike's contact with the 7 ball. Cue ball flies right off the table. So Venkat is going to have a 6-7-9 out here. Don't see any challenges ahead. If he does not get out here, really no one to blame but himself because everything is open. Okay, plays it like how I would have played it. I would have stayed below the 7, played the 9 ball in the same pocket as the 6. So you can just play this with a little bit of left-hand spin. Come to that side rail. Yep, perfect. Maybe a little bit of an under hit, but he's good. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Matt Mendola reminded me that Brad does use a Ronzon. We have a Q-Tech fan in the chat. Space Ghost says Q-Tech, way to go. I mean, if it's good enough for Shane Van Boning, it's good enough for any of us. I know Q-Tech definitely makes some nice cues, so. All right, Venkat Kakku. After being up 3-1, dropping a couple racks, regains the lead. He is up 4-3. His magic number is 3 to get to 7. Let's do a check-in in the chat. I like to always know where my viewers are watching from, so let us know where you're watching from. Whether you're local in the Western New York area, maybe watching from a different state, watching from a different country. Again, my name is Vinny Sox. I'm not a professional commentator. I volunteered to do this for Bison Billiards, and I've enjoyed it thus far. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better each week, but by no means am I some polished commentator like a Jeremy Jones or a Danny DiLiberto. I'm just a dude who loves pool. I love playing pool. I love talking about pool. Pool pretty much consumes my life, and if you don't believe me, ask my wife. All right, Brad with a nice shot there on the 1 and gets great position on the 2 ball. All right, Space Ghost checking in from the east side of Buffalo. I also live in the city of Buffalo. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being engaged in the live chat. All right, a little straight here on the 3 ball, but I think he can draw it back. Okay. Now let's see what he looks to do with this 4 ball. Now he's rattled a couple balls in that top right corner pocket, so yeah, just like I thought, he went for that top left. Fortunately misses that and leaves V a shot. I think V can just, he can just check this with some inside English, come 1 rail off that top rail and play the 5 in the bottom left corner. We have our favorite Serbian viewer in the live chat, Emma Kokanovic, says that she thinks I'm very polished. Well, I appreciate the feedback, but in full transparency, Emma is my wife, so she's sort of obligated to be nice. But thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Thank you for chatting. All right. Brad looking to leave the cue ball behind the 9 and does a great job there. So, you know, Brad's had some misses in this match that I'm sure he would like to have back, but in terms of his defensive play, he's been very strong. I feel like anytime he's been looking to play safe, he's definitely left that cue ball behind a blocker. And Venkat's going to have a difficult kick here. It looks like he's going to go Looks like he's going to maybe go 3 rails. Wow, he just misses that. That's the second time that that's happened where Venkat's made a really nice kick and just barely misses the object ball. And my wife does confirm that I do play and watch too much pool. Before she met me, she admittedly knew nothing about pool, and now pool is on the TV at home all the time. She's come to some of my tournaments. I know she was here this past weekend, and she knows a lot more about pool than she probably ever wished that she did. But she's one of my biggest supporters, so I wouldn't ask for anything more. Damon Betlow says, a non-biased opinion that I do a great job. Thank you so much, Damon. I just do my best. It's definitely easier when we have 2 commentators, but on a night like tonight, where it's just me and I'm riding solo, I just gotta, just gotta wing it. Yeah, I agree. Space Ghost makes a good point, saying playing safe will keep you in the game when your shots let you down. Yeah, definitely a couple different schools of thought with that. I mean, some players think that maybe if they're in a little bit of a slump, maybe they're not making balls like they normally do. They got to shoot their way out of it. Other players like Space Ghost and myself would say, hey, play some defensive shots, get some ball in hand, get some easier shots, get that rhythm back, and, everything goes up from there. Jay Reed says polished. That sounds like a left-handed Cheektowaga compliment. Well, I'll take what I can get. I mean, I'll sometimes watch back these matches afterwards, and I'll hear myself stumbling over some words or maybe making some bad calls, and like anything, I'll wish I had some shots back even from the commentator's booth. But I do my best, and that's all I can do. All right, Venkat. Wrong angle on the 8. Okay. Tries to play at 3 rails. He tries to come all the way back down table and off side rail, top rail. Just not enough speed. I think he maybe hit that 8 ball a little bit too thick. So a lot of distance on this 9 ball, but I feel like these are the type of shots that Venkat does excel at. He's got a pretty straight stroke. He stays down on the ball, confident player. Yeah, he'll just roll this, knowing V. And he does. He knocks it in. All right, Venkat gets to 5. One more game for the hill. Let's take a look at the live poll. All right, we're up to 16 votes, and Brad still holds a lead at 56%. You think that Brad's going to win by just a little? So Venkat's already at 5. So if Brad's going to win by a little, he's going to have to make quite the comeback here. I think the next couple, maybe 2 or 3 racks, have to be Brad's if that poll is going to prove true. Yeah, Space Ghost makes a good point. Everyone's got a different perspective, and, you're the one at the table, and you know how you feel mentally and physically. So, it's what makes pool such a special game is everyone looks at shots a little bit different. You might ask 2 great players how they would play a certain shot, and you might get 2 completely different answers. You got certain players that like to use more spin. You got players that like to use more rails, draw shots, follow shots, inside English, checking balls, things like that. So, there's just totally different approaches, and It's really interesting seeing two players battle it out, and especially from the commentator side of thing, because I know how I play, and I'll look at a shot that players on stream are going to play, and I'll think one way and they'll shoot another way. So, all right, looks like Brad was maybe going for the 9-ball there. Unfortunate miss, but Venkat, nothing easy here. He can cut it, but that cue ball is going to be moving. Is he going for the 9 here? Wow. I think he was riding the 9 there, and he's thought he was going to get a roll, but he's not. That 2-ball is available into the right side pocket. 3-ball is up by that top left corner pocket. Okay, rolls it in. All right, probably best that ball didn't go in, because he would have been hooked on the 3-ball. And now Venkat's going to have to come up with something, unless he can see that 2-ball. Okay, that was a little bit deceiving. It did not look like... Ooh, look at this. Look at this. And Venkat appears to have an edge of the 3-ball, but I don't believe he can make it. No. And I think that's the second or third time in this match that Venkat has maybe thought he had more of the ball than he did, and he ends up fouling. So Brad here is probably going to come out 2 rails, knowing Brad. Yep. Wants to get on the good side of the 4-ball. He does. Now, with this 6-ball being where it is, let's see how Brad plays this 4-ball. You're really kind of thinking 3 shots ahead. I think he got a pretty flat angle here, if any angle at all, on this 5-ball. If he's going to be forced to play that 6-9. Okay, he's drawn it back. Okay. Wow. If he was trying to get on the other side of the 6. Nice, powerful stroke there by Brad, but no justice. Okay, just trying to clip off the 6, put it behind the 9. No. But I don't know if V's going to have to play. I say V. I should apologize. We call Venkat V here at the pool hall. Is he going to play short side on this 7-ball? No, he tried to play a really difficult shot, and wow, he's going to leave Brad a tic-tac-toe out here. Not much work to do. Really, all he had to do was make sure he left himself enough angle to get up table for that 8-ball. And he does. So going forward here. A little bit of inside. And he's perfect. Just stop your ball here. And Brad Wesley looking to make it 5-4. And he does. So 5-4. Brad not out of this match by any means. We got a back and forth match. I believe it was 3-1 Venkat. Then Brad ties it up at 3. Venkat wins the next 2. Brad gets the next 1. And that is where we sit. 5-4. So those of you that voted Brad by a little, still got a shot here. I think, this might be a pretty obvious take here, but in a race to 7, 5-4, I'm going to say the winner of this rack is going to win our match. Because if Venkat wins, he goes up 6-4. Brad's got to run 3 straight. If Brad wins, even though it's 5-5, that would mean that he won the last 3. He's got all the momentum. Okay. Now this is interesting. Brad scratches on the break. 2-ball a little bit tied up. 9-ball is playable, and just as I imagined, Venkat is going to be chasing the cheese here. A 1-9 combo, not easy, but doable. Right. Now, he didn't come close to making that, but I think it was the right shot based on where that 2 and 6 landed after the break. They're a little bit tied up, so, even if you miss that 9-ball, it's not going to be an easy out for your opponent. I think that's how I normally gauge when I want to go for a 9-ball, is I look at the other balls on the table, and, if it's difficult enough to where my opponent is going to struggle to get out if I miss the 9-ball, then I'm more likely to go for the 9-ball. All right, and Brad may pull out the jump cue here. 1 ball hanging over that side pocket. And exactly as I thought, Brad does bring out the jump cue. Now, if you make this, you could be going into the 4. Well, I guess if you make or you miss, you could be going into the 4. All right, he makes it, and he actually goes into the 8. And he's going to be hooked. So I think he's going to have to kick off this bottom rail. Space Ghost says, can we say comeback? I think we can. I think that if he gets this rack, we can definitely say comeback. Brad kicking off the bottom rail. Good hit. And he's going to make it. Wow. Great shot there by Brad Wesley. But I think he's going to be hooked again on the 3-ball. Brad with some friendly banter with some Billiards employees working the counter. Wow, great shot there. If that's what he was trying to play, that's tremendous. Playing that 3-ball behind the 5-ball. Tremendous shot there by Brad Wesley. Showing off why he's a 591 Fargo. Soft kick here by Venkat. No. He misses that 3-ball. Venkat, if you're wondering, does not jump. He is not a jump shot player. That I know for sure. So if some of you were wondering why he didn't just pull out shorty and pop right over that 5-ball, it's because Venkat does not jump the ball. All right, Brad leaving himself that negative angle on the 3-ball to draw between the 6-4. Wow. This might go too. No, it's not. Okay, surprising miss there by Brad with ball in hand, but he does hook. He does hook Venkat. Okay, watch out for that corner pocket. He's okay. Is there a window between that 8-9? Tough to see on the monitor, but if he doesn't have the window, a pretty easy kick off this top rail. And no such luck for Brad there. Scratching in the side pocket. So Venkat looking to get on the hill. 6 balls left on the table. Nothing tied up. I mean, this should be a pretty easy out here for Venkat. But, those of us who play pool know that nothing's easy. I mean, got to play perfect speed. You got to play perfect angles. Or you can get out of line very quickly. Just going to roll forward. Leave himself a nice angle on the 4-ball. Come up 1 rail. Now let's see what type of angle he wants to leave himself on this 5-ball. Is he going to play the 6 in the bottom right corner? Or is he going to play the 6-9 combo? If he leaves himself a healthier angle, I think he's going to try to come across for the 6. Okay, he tries to get straight in on the 5, so he was looking to play the 6-9. But just doesn't get high enough on that 5 ball, and he's going to have to try to play safe here, probably behind the 6-9. All right, not an easy safety play here. Venkat shaking his head. You can see that, you know, he's unsure of what he wants to do here. What do you guys like? Pop into the chat. What kind of defensive play do you like on this 5 ball? Do you try to? I think it's too tough to clip it thin and try to get behind the 6-9. Yeah. See. Yeah. I don't think that was the play. I think the balls were too close together. Now, Brad does have a good angle to come across for the 6 ball. That way he doesn't have to worry about that 6-9. I think he's going to get safe here. I think he's going to like this roll. Maybe? No. Venkat's either got a piece of the 5 or he's got the whole ball. He's getting down on it like he's got the whole ball. Okay, trying to play safe. Overrolls the blockers, trying to use the 6-9. All right. Wow. Now, what Brad was trying to do there is he was trying to come off the side rail and put the 5 ball back down towards the 6-9, but catches the point of the side pocket, frees up the 5 ball for Venkat. Okay, Venkat, he's going to go head on to that 6-9. And all right, length of the table shot here for Brad. No offensive play that I can see. So I think he's going to maybe try to clip off the right side of the 5. You're going to have the 9, the 6, and the 8 as blockers. So you're really just trying to get the cue ball back to the bottom of the table. And yep, exactly like I said. Wow, he played that to perfection. Wow, Venkat taps the table, showing some love for that safety play. That was very difficult. That 5 ball was very tight on that top rail and very easy to double kiss, but Brad hits it with great speed, and Venkat misses that 5 ball. So really important, if that 6 ball passes the 9 ball, he's not going to have to play the combo, or he's not going to have to try to play, you know, short side position on the 6. He's playing for the 6, so that tells me it passes the 9. Yeah, very, very patient by Brad. You know, he didn't try a wild bank shot or anything there. He knows the skills. Wow, great shot there too. He's going to leave himself absolutely perfect. Just a stop shot here. You know, maybe drop back 6 inches. But anything will do. Just make. Just make sure I have the score correct. Just looking at the beads. Just double checking the score. I just want to make sure there's no discrepancy with what I see at the table. Okay, it is 5-5. Okay. thought I was seeing something with the beads from where I'm standing, but oof. Didn't want to get a bump on that 5 ball, and I don't think the 3 ball goes. Or no, I'm sorry, that's the... oh, got to get a rail, and he's not. And Brad's frustrated there because he would have had him hooked, and I think he just kind of rushed that 3 ball. And all right, so Venkat looking to get about middle of the table here for this 4 ball. Tries to play it in the top left corner. I might have come across my line and played that 4 ball in the top right corner. But he's okay. Just draw it down. Watch out for the side. He wants to get straight. Okay, you can just roll it down. Just make sure you clear the 8. And then you can play it 1 rail over for the 8. It's perfect. It's perfect. Maybe check it a touch. Maybe the slightest touch of inside. Just to help with your speed. I think it's just stop here. Venkat looking to go on the hill first. And straight on the 9 ball. Venkat. This 9 ball for 6-5. And he buries it. So Venkat Kakku is our first player to the hill. So the 31% of you that said that you thought Venkat was going to win by a lot, that is not going to be the case. Brad is also not going to win by a lot. So the 12% of you that voted for that, also wrong. Nobody said that Venkat was going to win by a little, but those of you that said Brad by a little, you still got a chance. Brad's going to just have to win the next 2 with Venkat on the hill. Brad cannot drop any more racks, but he's shown that he can rattle some off and win a few in a row. So Brad not out of this match. Space Ghost thinks that Brad's going to start going maybe a little bit more defensive here if he gets an opportunity. I mean, everything's open. Don't know what he can do with this 1 ball. So it looks like Brad is going to get to the table. Just not sure he's going to love the spot that he's in. If Venkat can play a good safety shot here. I think he's going to just clip off the right side of the 1, try to put it behind the 3-8. No, he went with the 1 ball. Interesting. All right, leaves the cue ball on the rail, so not going to be able to do too much with the cue ball here. 3 ball is sitting by that right corner pocket. I'm sorry, the right side pocket. So doesn't have to do too much. Wow, he's going to get... Okay, he wanted it to travel a little bit more, but does it clear the 4-7 into the top left corner? That would be huge with position on the 4 ball. And he's shooting at it. Oh no, he's playing safe. So Space Ghost was right that he did look to play safe there, but fortunately, with the match on the line, didn't play one of his better safety shots there. Venkat looking to play this. Wow. Wow. All right, now Brad can definitely put this cue ball on the 8 ball. Just roll up on the 3, I believe, and just leave the cue ball on the 8. Or is he going for the combo? He is going for the combo. All All right, now Brad's just going for it. You can tell. He's got a little bit of a pace going. Wants it to stop. Doesn't want it to be over the 7. Yeah, difficult. Difficult. That 6 ball in front of the 5. He's not going to really be able to move the cue ball much. Great shot there if it can clear the 7. It's not. Does he have a rail first here between the 6-7? Don't believe he does. Fat Bob Benny, thanks for joining. One of our most loyal viewers. Is there a match after this? So I mentioned it earlier that I don't believe we do have a second match. There was one scheduled, but one of the players is ill, so he's not able to attend. So I think this will be our only match of the evening, but I'm still waiting on the word. There may have been a makeup match scheduled or a fill-in match, but I've not been told either way, so I'm going to assume that this is the only match for the night, but I'm going to give it a couple minutes after this match ends to speak to the higher-ups and make sure that we just have a one match. Wow, so Venkat hangs the 6 ball. Now Brad can definitely go rail first here. I think he's just trying to figure out. Oh no. Okay, now Venkat does have ball in hand, but when a ball is deep in the pocket like this, not always the easiest to judge how it's going to come off the rail. But of course, you'd rather have ball in hand than not have ball in hand. But no, that is not what he wanted. So he leaves himself tough. He does have a shot though. 7 ball in the right side pocket. Yeah, you should have definitely come over and said hi. I can be chatty, so when I'm here, I'm normally talking to someone, but yeah, definitely come up and say hi next time you're here. Okay, he goes for the cut, and he misses it. And Wesley coming back to the table, just all he needs to do is make the 7 ball. That's all you really need to do. That's should be your entire focus. You're not even thinking about the 9 ball. You're not thinking about position. Just bear down, stay down, limit your body movement, and bury the 7 ball. Not easy, straight in. Yep. Couldn't have hit that much better. Unfortunate for Brad, that pocket is a killer. And it got him there, and that's going to end our match. We're going to bring Venkat in for a quick post-match interview. If you have a question for Venkat, pop it in the live chat. So Venkat is going to be our new number 10 player. Just going to be updating the list. All right, so get the list updated here. All right. We're having a little bit of a difficulty with the list, but we do have Venkat joining us. to talk about the match.
What up, Vinny? What up, chat?
I think you got to come off mute here. All right, so we have Venkata in the booth here. So, Venkat, congratulations on your victory. How do you feel like you played out there?
I think we both played like real bad, like we couldn't. Nobody had a clear run, like we were just dogging the 7-ball, 8-ball, or scratching on one of those balls. It was not a good show today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I got lucky to win the match, but it was no good. I didn't feel it. I deserved the win, though.
Yeah, it was a pretty back and forth match. I think you went up 3-1, then Brad tied it at 3, then you went up 5-3, Brad tied it at 5-5. So, when you have one of those back and forth matches, I mean, does it just take a lot out of you? I mean, what's your, what's going through your mind when, you feel like we might have you start maybe taking a little bit of a lead and then Brad just punches right back?
No, actually, when I was looking into it, like, we both were not shooting great. So, in my head, like, it's anybody's game. But when I was up 5-3, the 6-ball to the corner pocket, that's an easy shot. I don't know how I missed it. Like, I can make, like, 9 out of 10. Maybe this is the one time that I missed it. That'd be a perfect to put me on this hill, like 6-3. That would have made me comfortable, but after I missed it, I was off a little bit. But Brad played a great safety, the rack before. I leave the 5-ball to the top rail, and he played a perfect safety, locked up behind the 9.
Right.
And today, pretty much, I couldn't do any of those kicks. I can't jump, but none of those kicks were working out good for me. I can't see the table.
Yeah, that's
today.
what I was going to ask you about. We had some people in the live chat asking about your jumping skills, and I said on stream that you don't jump. And, when you play a match like this where Brad, I mean, especially for, the first half of the match, he was playing excellent defensive shots. I mean, he was going length of the table, leaving you behind balls. I mean, does that maybe make you want to start jumping the ball, or you think you're still pretty confident in your kicking ability?
I would start at some point, but to the level that we're playing here, in my opinion, or the way I play, I'm good with those kicks. I'm not running a racks or like something like that, which is okay. But in my head, at some point, maybe like let's put it like if I get to 650, that's when I feel like I got to live up to the skill level.
You're playing higher caliber players,
so that's in my target. Like if I get to 650, maybe I'll give it a try with the jump.
Okay.
But I don't think that's going to happen because I've been trying to get to 600 like for past 2 years. I don't know. I struggle a lot. I push myself close to 590, and then I come back to 570. I fall in that range all the time.
Right.
It's all because of the consistency, like definitely some days I can shoot like a 650 or 630. Some days I'll shoot like a 500,
Yeah.
There's a big swing.
Right. Taking a look at our live poll, we actually gave the viewers 4 options, either you in a blowout, Brad in a blowout, you by a little, or Brad by a little. Brad, 61% of our viewers thought that Brad was going to win by 1 or 2 games. Second place was you in a landslide at 28%, and then Brad by a lot at 11%. So you ended up winning a tight match, and 0% of our viewers thought that you would win by 1 or 2 games. So pretty funny with how the poll worked out. But we had a really lively chat. We had a lot of viewers, a lot of engagement. We had definitely some Venkat support. I know, was it Ellie, who was in, I believe, one of your other streams. So I don't know if that's a family member or a friend of yours. Had everybody in the chat putting hearts for Venkat to show their
honest,
support.
I want to know who Ellie is. Like, to be honest, I have no idea.
Ellie, I don't know if you want to reveal your identity, but Venkat, I was thinking that it was maybe one of Venkat's family members, but apparently not. So maybe just a fan, they've been tuning in. They like the way that you play.
Yeah, I mean, today is like was we both didn't shoot good, but I ended up being a winner.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's how pool has been.
So I'm having some difficulty putting up the top players list on screen, but I have it here for you. So you're going to be now in the 10 spot. Brad drops to 11. So above you is Jake Jackson and then Tyler in the 8 spot. So either one of those players enticing for you to call out?
I'll play Tyler. He beat me in the tournament past weekend. I want to take a chance to get him in the big table 9 ball.
Okay, I think Tyler's watching. So Tyler, you heard that. Venkat calls you out. He wants that number 8 spot. So let us know when you're available. I know you were here for the tournament this past weekend, so I'm not sure about the next time that you're looking to come this way. But Venkat's calling you out. He'd like that number 8 spot. So let us know. So again, we do have a 9-ball tournament. Are you going to be here this Saturday for the Bar Box 9-ball tournament?
Is it bar box? It's a big table.
Oh, is it big table?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it is big table.
I wish I play in it, but we have the APA Montreal qualifier. I'm on a team, so I might end up playing in the APA qualifier. But I wish I want to play in the big table 9-ball. I'm focusing more on my big table 9-ball game more than bar box.
Right.
And I ended up playing so bad in the past week tournament in a bar box 8-ball. I lost the touch completely.
Yep.
I struggled a lot. I just, I wasn't sure, do I need to play a safe or try to run out or 10 different things in your head. Eventually I end up missing the shot and just didn't work out my way.
All right, well, good victory tonight over Brad, who I know is a strong opponent. I'm sure Brad will be back to show what he's got on stream. But with that being said, I think we'll wrap it up. I don't believe we have a second match. So we're going to wrap it up for this Monday. We'll be back next Monday with some action. I know we have 2 of our top players, Adam Smith and Danny Colas, playing for the number 3 spot. That'll be around 8 p.m. start time next Monday night. I will not be here. But we will have commentators Larry Stopper and Matt Mandola doing that match for us. So we appreciate you being engaged, tuning in, and supporting the stream. If you like what you heard, what you saw, make sure you like the stream, you subscribe, you turn on your notifications. That way you're notified every time we go live, and we'll be bringing a lot more great pool action to your living rooms here in the upcoming week. So again, thank you for joining. Coming to you live from Bison Billiards. Love you guys. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks, Vinny. I appreciate all the supporters, and special thanks to Ellie. I know who it is. I wanted to know. Okay. Please put in the chat.
All right, we'll figure it out. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, everyone. Bye.